Hey guys, my name is Chad Beist. I just wanted to introduce myself to you guys here with my little software Camtasia that I use. I'm not too good at collages really, so I chose to put together a video about me and a product I sort of made a little while back that sort of describes my online digital uh, position in the world, if you may. One of the things that I used to do before was I was a swim coach for about 5 years before later transitioning into my computer hardware software repair background from high school again. When I was in high school, I learned how to build computers, and I was coaching for a while, into athletics for a while, and then eventually got out of that and back into computers and building websites, doing search engine optimization for clients, etc. And amidst all of that, I came up with a product that I wanted to use to start. I wasn't on the pool deck coaching as often as I used to. As you'll see, here. That's intro photo. That's me. It's my mom. Thanksgiving time. Just want to, use that for an intro. And then here on the pool deck, this is Districts 2010. See me. I'm here next to my head coach and several of the national team athletes we had on deck that time, and cheering on one of the kids in the water that they had doing a particular race in looks like backstroke or the IM that they were doing. My job at that time, before I got back into web design, SEO, etc., basic web design, was a technical coach. My job was to take the athletes, break down their stroke, put it back together again, and hopefully make it come out more efficiently. And that took a lot of work that I would have to do, analyzing from different angles on the pool deck. As you see, I've got my hands up here cheering on. Probably a few seconds later, I was on this side of the pool deck or this side of the pool deck, trying to get different angles to see how she was technically swimming the race, so I could communicate with her what may have went wrong and correct after she was finished. And so my job was very physical. It kept me going a lot on the pool deck. My head coach designed the workouts and normally cheered from the sidelines. I was the one that was the second parent for a lot of these guys, cheering them on and getting them along and everything. So my digital identity, if you may, that I'm choosing for myself at least, is an online coach, if you may. I got real sick when I was pursuing my initial bachelor's degree in exercise science, and that's how I got into websites and doing SEO for businesses and stuff like that, because I needed a different way to make income since I wasn't coaching anymore. But I did miss it at a point in time, and I was like, how can I still get involved again with these guys that I was coaching before, because I know they enjoyed the help I was able to give to them. A lot of them benefited from it. The parents were usually pretty happy with it. But how can I do this and not be on deck or not be running all over to different competitions at one time while I'm still trying to finish my degree, web development? I was like, I put together a basic website, of which I will use for my, I don't know if you want to call it collage or medium, I think is a more proper term, of which I'll be sharing with you on YouTube. And I'll try to keep this as short as I can. I have to keep it under 15 minutes if I remember correctly, before having to compress or edit the videos further. And even this is the second shot I did with this video, and hopefully won't have to do a third, because my first one started running too long, of which the article mentions a little bit of, trying to keep things more compact and instant. And so I'm still adapting, even though I'm a native, with some of the immigrant form. So let me minimize this real quick, show you the site that we had going on that kind of describes what my mission was with coaching, and where it will probably help me in the future. One of the things we had here was the homepage for the website. Very simple. It got a couple pictures of nationals and stuff like that before, a couple athletes we had, and put it up on the site just to give it that visual perspective. Very simple, simple race practice critiques to help the athlete better. What the user would do is they'd come down here, is please click here for a critique. They'd click on that, and then, excuse me a second. Let me try to get out of this real quick. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't want to keep doing that, so I'll just try to get this on the screen here for the site. Okay. As we progress through this presentation a bit, let me turn that down. I got my old voice going on from the original presentation, so I can still hear myself. Okay. There we go. The next step after they would come into the site on the home page, would they be taken to this page here, which is nothing but more than a simple Aweber opt-in. You know, for people that build email lists and, you know, build lists for different products they try to sell, or communication lists for different organizations, and they simply would enter their name, email, and then a separate box I created through Aweber where they would upload the URL to their race videos. A lot of these people would take these videos and upload them to YouTube or some other Web 2.0 fashion, and all I really wanted was the URL to that race. So I could take it, they would sit there, submit it, and the next step, of course, would take them to, oh, there I am filling that stuff out. Would take them to an opt-in page, and then take them to the payment page, which should be coming up. Yeah, and then this I process this through PayPal. You know, I get a little thank you for, you know, thank you note for trying our service, and they have the different forms of races, whether it's 50, 100, you know, 500, 1,000, 1650, and different prices that we had for different critiques that they could get. Because what they would get would be a full video critique of everything that they were swimming at the time, technical analysis, and just broken down piece by piece, bit by bit, and of course they're taken to their shopping cart here, and they can check out and pay through whichever medium they choose, whether PayPal or credit card, whatever. But that's pretty much how that site would work. And let me try to pull up an older video real quick of what one of my friends was using. Let me take this off the timeline so I can show that to you. Okay, never mind. I'll try to pull open the video real quick. Just give me 1 second. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I had to open up a file. I didn't want it to eat up too much of my time. But here's what we would do with the site. This was off of his Facebook account. I think he uploaded the video to Vimeo or something like that. But as you can see here, he's got you know, different aspects going on with the different races. You can see my mouse. I'm talking about different stances, you know, with the athlete here. Let me try this real quick. I'm sorry. Normally my escape key would take me back out. I need to zoom back out a second. Forgive me one moment. Give me 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. I'm just going to keep this here. Let me zoom this. Okay. Alright, I think everyone can see that. Alright. Basically what I would do here is go through different parts. You know, I'd pause and I'd say, okay, look at this kid, you know, he's ready to go, he's down on the blocks more, he's still kind of hanging his arms loose, his feet aren't necessarily properly placed where this kid's got the foot forward, the other foot back. He's just more ready to go. And what you'll notice later is just I pointed out to this kid, his name was Nathan. I said, Nathan, you know, you weren't quite ready on the blocks to get into your race, and if you watch this, he's going to be last off the blocks compared to this guy next to him. And let's see if we get to that point on the start. Okay, they come down on the start, and again, he's still very lax. This kid's a lot more tense, ready to go, get off the blocks. And I'm just trying to find this part where, okay, I did this piece by piece, showing him frame by frame. And here's a good frame to stop at. This kid here, of course, his whole body's in the water. As you can see, Nathan's feet are still out. In the world of swimming, you know, we try to squeeze every 1/10 of a second that we can from starts and finishes. And a lot of times, even on a pool deck, a coach is not going to see this difference here between, you know, say this kid being in the water first and this kid still having maybe 6 inches to a foot of his body out of the water. So that was one thing that the athlete gets to notice with the site. A couple other things I'll just quickly mention. Okay, we talk about entry, and I'm just freeze framing this second by second for him just to show different aspects of his race. But as I play it through, I think it got different things paused. Sorry if you don't see his full race. He's coming back into this next part of his 50 here, I think. And we're just looking at different head position. We're looking at streamline position that he's at underwater than you normally would not see or probably get outside the pool deck. Let me come down a little further with this. Yeah, sorry if you don't get to see his race, because I did a lot of freeze framing on this for him at the time of when he was doing his race and different things we were looking at. Plus, he had a lot of lag time with his camera, actually, which kind of made it a little distorted. And I had, see I'm playing with this piece by piece. But the gist of it is he got the message. What we were looking at his turn style down here, how he came on and off of a wall, how he was closing with this guy over here. He's riding into a draft that he should have been holding on to a little longer. We were looking at the hand position of him coming in and off the wall. Pointing that out to him in terms of how he was wasting a little time coming up and over with his hands instead of straight in and out. Forgive me if some of this jargon is a little unfamiliar. I know not everyone was a swimmer growing up, but we talk about different aspects of how here in the gutter system it's catching a lot of his waves, so he had more cleaner water to swim in this aspect of the lane over here, whereas having to hug the lane so close, trying to catch a draft where he should have been swimming straighter because he had clean water to swim in. That was another aspect we pointed out to him. And then I think later on, coming throughout the rest of this video, yeah, I'm just doing a lot of talking on that video right now, but sorry for you not to see too much of a swimming action. But yeah, I did a lot of pausing to try to reiterate some of the things that we were doing, what they needed to know. And I think at this point we're at the finish and talking about how he closed. What I think he did in this video was he kept his head up at the end of a stroke. And normally when you fly, if you all think Michael Phelps, when you think the Olympics, you always put your head down at the end of a stroke. And I'm sorry you guys can't really see that too well with the finish. I'm just trying to see different frames of where this was and how this played out, but it's not really showing me. It's just showing my mouse movements from when I was probably doing a small lecture to him about all the aspects of what he was doing. But nonetheless, that's basically what the tool is. They show me the video. They show me from like this angles from up in the stands behind the pool deck. And it just gives me that bird eye view to be able to look at every aspect. I can pause it, I can rewind it, I can go back and forward, and I can say, look, this is what we're doing wrong here, this is what we're doing wrong there, and this is how you can do this to correct this. I mean, that's really the simplicity of it. And a lot of these athletes just eat the information up, the parents eat it up, the coaches even eat it up. And usually it's a very great tool, especially at the beginning of a season, for the athlete, the coach, and the parent to all be very self-aware to look at what they're doing in the pool and how they can implement it moving forward. And I really thought a lot about this, and I was like, wow, this is, they received it well. When I spoke with this kid throughout the season, his did progressively come down, excuse me, almost exactly the way I thought they would too, based on his age, his talent, and his training that he was going through, because I knew his head coach. And he just thanked me a lot for it. And I'm not bragging, but I'm just saying it was a great tool that worked. And so my digital line identity, if you may, I would say be a coach. And that's the best way I can do it, whether I'm teaching a webinar on web marketing, whether I don't do too much of that anymore, but or race reviews, and that's pretty much the tool I think I can use moving forward, especially being a student, doing hopefully other presentations in the future. I do apologize and watch my time here so I can get it uploaded and have you guys see it. So I thank you for taking the time. Apologize if I had any mishaps along the way. We'll get better with this as we move forward. Thanks again, blessings, and talk to you all soon.